Last 24 minutes, we've been getting updates from Collierville Police Chief Dale Lane, and we have certainly learned a lot of information in that time frame, a lot about the shooter, a lot about the investigation. And while there's still a whole lot we don't know, we can tell you that they have identified the shooter. They're not releasing his name during this news conference, but our reporters on the scene are getting that information right now. We learned that he was a third-party vendor, so not necessarily directly a Kroger employee, but a third-party vendor of the store. He worked inside the store. He has a criminal background for some minor misdemeanor arrests, but nothing for violence. We also learned as part of that investigation that police went to the alleged shooter's apartment and they processed and gathered evidence, a lot of electronic evidence that the team will be going through, and it's just going to be an hours-long evidence gathering process, according to the chief, not just at the site of the apartment complex, but also inside the Kroger grocery store on New by Hillier Road. They're also saying from the information that they have gathered at this point that they're getting a better, clear picture of what led to this shooting yesterday at that Kroger store, but they're not releasing that information to us at this point. Also, want to just update you on the new numbers that we're getting from Collierville Police Department. A total of 15 people shot, 10 employees, 5 customers, and that includes Olivia King, the fatality that we've been telling you about here on Channel 24. Our Brad Broders was there. Let's catch up with Brad right now. Brad, what can you tell us?
John, a significant piece of breaking news I found out in just the last 90 seconds. We do have the name of that shooter. His name is UK. His last name's T-H-A-N-G. I'm not entirely sure if that's pronounced Tang or Thangs, but again, it's UK Thang or T-H-A-N-G. Date of birth, October 17th, 1991. That would make him almost 30, but 29 years old. They just released that in the last 90 seconds. The major of the Collierville Police Department, also the public information officer. John, you did a great job recapping a lot of the new information, but what's also striking at this morning's news conference is just the pride in the first responders in Collierville who ran in not knowing the situation inside yesterday afternoon, not knowing if the shooter was still shooting, not knowing if there were multiple shooters. Chief Lane really got emotional a couple of minutes ago talking about, we're heartbroken, our department's heartbroken, but there were people running out of this store with bloodied shirts, and he said there was not one blue shirt of the Collierville Police Department that didn't hesitate to run in that store, help those victims. We also heard from Buddy Billings, the fire chief of the Collierville Fire Department. This is the first time we had heard from him. He was not on yesterday's news conferences. He said his firefighters are really in a fog right now, but he said he has never been prouder of the Collierville Fire Department. He's never been prouder of first responders in the Collierville area. And again, it was reiterated again today as it was yesterday evening. Chief Lane of the Collierville Fire Department really crediting an active shooter training June 4th. A lot of first responders, police, fire, paramedics, etc., took part in that active shooter training June 4th. They also were crediting the town of Collierville for investing in equipment for these kind of events. You never dream they could ever happen, but you want to be prepared. They credited that equipment for being able to have first responders as safely as possible, considering it was an active shooting situation, still go in that Kroger, and they believe it was that equipment that prevented further loss of life, further injuries. But again, as you mentioned, John, we do have more information. 10 workers, 5 customers among those injured. Yesterday, there were 12 injuries. We now know that there are 15 injuries. Again, that shooter we now know is UK Thang, 29 years old. They did go to his home last night, executed a search warrant. Chief Lane said they interviewed one other person, but that was more of a preliminary situation. There are no active arrests or are no other suspects being sought. Chief Lane said there was one shooter involved in this situation and only one shooter, that name UK Thang, again, 29 years old. We also learned a little bit about UK Thang's criminal history. Chief Lane said there were a few prior misdemeanor arrests, but nothing serious, John.